It's hold up. It's recording. Okay. Change the lighting a little bit. What's up, y'all? Thank you guys so much for tuning into the channel once again. My name is Mark Mamboyo, and this is going to be the 4th episode of the Elevate podcast. If it is your first time tuning in, I appreciate you guys coming through. The value I want to bring to you guys with these podcasts is going to be motivation, self-empowerment, and simple storytelling. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started with the 4th episode of the Elevate podcast. Here we go. Okay, so 4th episode of the podcast. I did change the lighting a little bit. Hopefully it's like dark. It's like 9 o'clock at night right now. So I looked washed out with the lighting here, so I changed it up. So anyways, in this podcast, I'm going to be going over why it's important to value accountability. Okay, so, let's go ahead and get started with what accountability is first and foremost. So for me, accountability is definitely taking ownership and taking responsibility of the actions and decisions that you've made to get to where you are today. The end results that had happened to get to where you are today. But obviously we know as a human, we're not perfect. So at the end of the day, we're going to make mistakes. There's going to be some troublesome times. You're going to have good times. You're going to have bad times. But at the end of the day, if you can take accountability of those bad times and see what you learned from those bad times, then it's going to help you grow. Right? At the end of the day, if you really think about it, if you aren't accountable with the decisions that you made, then how are you going to learn from those behaviors and those mistakes that you've made previously to grow into you and your full potential? Right? I feel like I said earlier, as a human race, it's easy for us to play the blame game. For example, say you have a job, or you obviously go to school. You have to be up at 8 o'clock. What are you going to do? You're going to set an alarm, right? But say you don't set the alarm. You wake up late. You end up being late for school. You end up being late for work. So what do? You end up blaming the alarm. You blame the outside environment, other, influences, instead of yourself. When obviously at the end of the day, it's you. It's you at the end of the day. You made the decisions to forget setting the alarm. You made the decision to wake up late. Maybe not even, you should have set 2 alarms. Same thing with work. It's like, say you have a task. There's a task at hand. Say it's a Tuesday. Boss is like, hey, can you do this, report or something? Can you go over this profile for me, or this account? Say you're in banking. And can you get back to me by 3 o'clock and go over the whole thing? Say 3 o'clock comes, you don't have the full report for him, but you already know that there was, steps and directions that he previously told you, or, steps that you apply within your job every day, but you ended up not hitting those report times. Who's it to blame? You. Yes, I know it sucks to do something wrong and get scolded at work or at school or in a relationship, but at the end of the day, don't think of it as like, oh, why is this happening to me? Why me? You should switch it around and be like, oh, what kind of lesson is this giving me? What kind of value can I take from this, this time to grow into the next time, right? You gotta really evaluate the decisions that you made, because obviously, yes, there's good times, yes, there's bad times, but you have to evaluate and take control of your feelings too. I feel like feelings definitely play a big part, because feelings can really take you down, at the end of the day. Say you wake up, say you wake up and immediately you're like, oh, I'm in a bad mood. What happens to the rest of your day? It's bad. But say you wake up and you're in a good mood. The whole rest of your day is going to be perfectly good. You're going to have a great day. Everything's going to go well at work, at school, the drive home, the drive to work. Everything's going to go perfect. So I believe that's another thing that you have to consider into, your mindset of accountability. Your mindset and your attitude has to line up with that positively, not negatively. Because if they line up positively, then you're going to, adjust your attitude and say, okay, what am I learning from this? Like I said, what kind of lesson is this giving me? What kind of behaviors am I going to make this time that are going to make the next time better? Or what kind of behaviors did I do wrong that made this not so come out the best, but what can I do to learn and grow from that, right? There's so many things. Like, you got to think about it this way. There's third world countries, right? And there's a lot of people that don't have the money, they don't have the means, they don't have a house, they don't have a car, they don't have a job. But they're still eating, they're still living on their roof. And when you see them as a person, it's like they're making the best of the situation that they have currently. Excuse me. But that's something that you also have to instill into yourself. Because if you don't believe in who you are and where you're at that moment and saying positive things about it, then your whole mindset's going to be off. You're going to be like, oh, man, exactly what I said earlier. Why me? Remember, everything is on you. It's all on you. The decisions that you made, the behaviors that you made, the mistakes that you made, it's all on you. But let it be, again, I say it, a learning lesson for you in your future. In your road to a better life, a more successful career, a happy relationship. Excuse me. Take those all with you throughout your life. Also, you got to be honest with yourself. Because if you're not honest with yourself, you're beating yourself up realistically. Because honesty is like, it's like your self-love. It's like, how much do you respect yourself at the end of the day? If you're not honest with yourself, then you have no respect for yourself. You got to be honest. You gotta evaluate your decisions. And another thing is, like, you gotta be super vulnerable, especially to change. Like I said earlier, it's like accountability is being, taking ownership of the decisions, also being responsible for the decisions. But to combat that, you have to be a problem solver. Because at the end of the day, if your ability to problem solve becomes better, faster, you make wiser decisions, then you're going to grow way faster. Your potential in your journey is going to grow up so high, because you're just that much better at taking accountability, taking ownership, being respectful, being honest with yourself, and just being proactive about the whole situation. Because if you aren't proactive, then how are you going to move forward? How are you going to, succeed in this life of, success, of your growth, of your journey, on all aspects, obviously. But remember, taking accountability is going to be something that every day as a human race, we all endure. So I believe that if you grasp it, taking control of it now, and grow with it, is going to make you such a stronger person at the end of the day. You're going to be so much more focused. And you're just going to, I feel like you're going to enjoy life so much better. You're going to have a sense of, no more sense of urgency, but a sense of time and, where you are at the moment, and taking it all in and growing with that to your next journey. So with that being said, hopefully there's some knowledge or some value that I gave to you guys with this podcast. So if you did enjoy it, please comment down below. I'll take your advice. I'll take your recommendations. Hopefully, after a couple more episodes, I can have a guest on here. But I do appreciate you guys listening to me. Again, this is Mark Mamboyo, and this is the Elevate Podcast. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace.